Welcome to this sacred reflection on surrender to God, a teaching deeply emphasized by the great yogi, Swami Paramahansa Yogananda. True surrender is not weakness, but the highest wisdom. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that surrendering to God is not about passive resignation but about consciously offering our ego, desires, and attachments at the feet of the divine. Swami Paramahansa Yogananda said, "Those who live in tune with the divine will never be disheartened by life's transitions." When we surrender, we harmonize ourselves with the greater cosmic will, freeing our hearts from unnecessary burdens. In today's discourse, let us explore what it truly means to surrender to God and how it transforms our inner and outer lives. Surrender is not weakness, but strength. Many fear surrender, thinking it means losing control. But Yogananda reassures us, to those who think surrender means loss of power, I say, surrender to God and you will find infinite power. When we cling to our limited self-will, we remain bound by fear and uncertainty. But when we attune ourselves to the divine, we open the doors to true guidance. A bird does not fear the branch breaking, because it trusts its wings. In the same way, surrendering to God does not mean giving up our efforts, it means aligning our will with His, trusting that He will carry us through all difficulties. Say, Lord, I am only Thy child. I do nothing, Thou dost all through me. This is the attitude that brings inner peace and clarity. Faith and love deepen surrender. Surrender is not just an intellectual idea, it is an act of faith, cultivated through love. Yogananda beautifully expressed, "Love God as a drowning man loves breath." When our devotion is deep, surrender becomes natural. If we trust someone completely, we feel safe in their hands. Imagine then, the peace that comes from trusting the infinite, the one who loves us more than we can ever comprehend. Yogananda said, "Give everything to God, your worries, your joys, your plans. Then see how He arranges everything perfectly." The more we love God, the easier it becomes to surrender, for we know that His love will never fail us. Surrender brings inner freedom. Surrendering to God is the ultimate freedom. It releases us from the chains of anxiety and self-doubt. Yogananda said, "Be as simple as a child. Take life as it comes, and all will be well." When we stop struggling against life and trust in the divine plan, we experience a deep peace that nothing can shake. Imagine a leaf floating down a river. It does not resist the current, yet it reaches exactly where it needs to go. In the same way, when we surrender, we allow God to guide our lives effortlessly. We act, we work, but we remain inwardly free, knowing that He is in control. Surrender in daily life. Surrender does not mean withdrawing from the world. It means living in the world with divine consciousness. Whether we are working, studying, or dealing with challenges, we should do our best but leave the results in God's hands. A farmer plants seeds, waters them, and ensures proper care, but he cannot force them to grow. In the same way, we must act with sincerity, but let go of attachment to outcomes. Yogananda advised, "Do your best and then say, Lord, I leave the results in Thy hands." This is true surrender, acting with faith, not fear. The ultimate gift of surrender, divine union. In the end, surrender is not just about giving up our burdens, it is about merging with the divine. When we truly surrender, we no longer feel separate from God. Yogananda declared, "The wave and the ocean are one. The soul and God are one." When we dissolve the ego and let God take charge, life becomes a joyful dance of divine harmony. Surrender leads to the highest realization that we are not mere mortals struggling through existence, but divine beings, eternally one with God. Let us, then, take this teaching to heart, practicing surrender in our thoughts, actions, and prayers. As Yogananda said, give yourself into His hands, and you will find yourself uplifted into His bliss. Let us reflect on this great truth. Take a deep breath. Let go of all worries. Offer everything at the feet of God. He knows, He cares, and He will guide you.